Hello again. We're all of us now used to the idea that statues of dead white men are somewhat suspect and need either to be pulled down or interpreted through the lens of anti-colonialism and so on. At the same time, various institutions are now racing to see who can be the first to erect novelty statues which show black women. One was unveiled in Wales recently, which showed a woman who was a headmistress, which is, I suppose, at least a worthwhile job. The latest, though, in Bristol, is more bizarre than I can adequately explain. I shall give it a go, though. After the statue of Edward Colston was pulled down and thrown in the harbour by rioters last year, some people in Bristol have been racing to be the first to produce a new statue, one of a black woman. The race was won by Bristol University on Monday when it unveiled a statue of Henrietta Lacks, described as the mother of modern medicine. The exciting novelty here is that this is the first public statue of a black woman to be created by a black woman. Top marks in the diversity stakes there, and no mistake, Bristol. Professor Jeremy Tavar, Dean of the Faculty of Life Sciences at the University of Bristol, says, "I'm absolutely delighted to be able to host this beautiful statue of Henrietta on our campus, so we can visually honour her contribution to important discoveries which we have made in Bristol over the last 70 years. You can see the statue and sculptor in the thumbnail to this video. I have an idea that most viewers will at this point be scratching their heads and wondering why they have never heard of this mother of modern medicine and her contributions to science." Henrietta Lacks was born in a log cabin in the United States in 1920. She dropped out of school at the age of 12 to work on the family's tobacco farm, and when she was 14 she had a baby. A few years later, while still in her teens, she had a second baby, a daughter. The little girl was epileptic and had cerebral palsy and severe learning difficulties. She married the father of the children and had several more, including a boy called Joseph and another daughter called Deborah. Deborah herself had a baby in her teens, like her mother, and her brother Joe stabbed somebody and was sent to prison for 15 years. In the meantime, Elsie, the daughter with cerebral palsy, had died in an institution for the insane. At the age of 31, Henrietta Lacks herself died of cancer of the cervix. This, then, is a brief account of the mother of modern medicine, of whom a statue was this week unveiled at Bristol University. By the way, try Googling Mother of Medicine and you'll see a lot of stuff come up about Henrietta Lacks, and you can check what I've been saying. I give a couple of links in the description to this video to get folks started, including news account of the unveiling of the statue. Now, normally when we call somebody the father of physics or the mother of nuclear power, it's because they have done something. Isaac Newton devised the theory of universal gravitation and invented calculus, and that's why we called him the father of physics. Marie Curie is sometimes called the mother of radiation for her work in isolating radium. These people had achievements. What was Henrietta Lacks' contribution to medicine? During her treatment for cancer, some cells were removed from her cervix and cultivated in a laboratory. This is often done during treatments of this kind. Her cells proved to be very interesting in that they continued multiplying and did not die out, which is quite unusual. Having such a hardy line of cells has proved very useful over the years in researching all kinds of things in medicine. This is not really a contribution to medicine, though, by Henrietta Lacks. It was a purely physical process. You might as well say that Henrietta Lacks' contribution was to produce two children who both needed to be supported by the taxpayer in prison or a long-stay institution. That would make as much sense as talking about her contribution to medical science. The problem is one which I have talked about several times in the last few days when people are talking about black heroes. The people being put forward as black heroes or having statues erected to them have not really done anything much out of the ordinary. I mentioned the article in the Metro newspaper in which it was suggested that a pop singer who imported a lot of cocaine and then committed suicide was in some sense a hero. Now we have a woman who died of cancer being immortalised by a statue. It seems as though the very fact of having a black skin is all that is needed to be described as a hero, or indeed as the mother of modern medicine. It is not necessarily the case that you actually have to have done anything remarkable. It seems to me that as long as you are black, that is enough for a statue or being immortalised as a hero.